Morris Hutchinson. Wagwan, your belly bigger than my one now though.
Am I play?
Eh? Yeah man, look for eh? Yeah, alright though.
So we're gonna resume after the lunch interval. It's gonna be Derval Green from the Courtney Walsh end. He's gonna be bowling to Kennar Lewis. He's on 51. Brown is on 14. 81 for the loss of 1. As in comes Green. And then therefore, dead ball signal by the umpire Chris, and quite rightly so. So 81 for the loss of 1. Another 239 runs for first innings points here for the St. Catherine team. The first ball after the lunch session screamed over extra cover for 6. That's some shot to remember, Sir Brown.
Yeah, that was a big shot.
Shot there by Lewis. He's up to 57. Brown is on 14. 87 for the loss of 1 wicket. That was a shot to remember. So what will be a response of Green? In he comes to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is going this time here all over cover. And they're back for the second one. Not that one was timed so good. Would I look at third? Lewis decided to go back over cover. He didn't time it so well this time, but they are back for the second. And there's a no ball signal by umpire Chris. So that simply means
no free.
Derval Green overstepped. Striving out for extra pace there, Mr. Brown. It's Green. This is up to 59. The score is up. 9 people are off on 1. In comes Green. Ball to Lewis. Lewis is sweet till time in the ball. 2 mid-wicket. Into the mid-wicket boundary. It goes 4 runs. What a lovely touch that was, Lewis. Just easy through the vacant mid-wicket era for 4 more runs. He's up to, I reckon, the score is up to 94. Lewis goes to 63. "13 runs from the very first over so far after lunch."
Oh yeah, 13, true, no ball, yeah.
Good start here by Lewis. He's up to 63. I tell you what, Lewis came out after lunch with a positive intent. And quite rightly so. Derval Green with ball in hand. Wearing the number 4 shirt jersey. In he comes. Passes the umpire now to ball to Lewis. Lewis is turning this one to mid-on. And there is no run. Good sense of a batting here by Kennar Lewis. I tell you what, Kennar Lewis seemed to be eyeing up a big 100 here, Mr. Brown. Definitely 63 runs to Lewis. Carlos Brown is on 14. The score is 94 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park. Derval Green, the Scorpion, new ball bowler. In he comes to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is turning this one in front of point for an easy single. Hampers through for a single. Lewis is really taking charge here at Sabina Park. is leading from the front is Lewis. He's up to 64. The total is up to 95 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park in this crucial encounter here between those teams. Reminding our listeners, wherever you are in the world, Kingston haven't won this title for over a decade. They will be looking this one. But Lewis and Brown have different ideas here at Sabina Park. So this time around it's going to be Green up to the wicket now to bowl to Brown, who's driving the ball sweetly. The big Boris Hutchinson diving across to the right and stop the ball keenly, and there is no run. 95 for loss of 1. Lewis up to 64. Brown is on 14. The big Boris Hutchinson is at mid-off. Can't beat Hutchinson. So Derval Green with ball in hand turns. In it comes the ball to Brown, who's getting wrapped to the pad and loud appeal. That must have been close there. Bat and pad, like a clear hedge there. Good call by the umpire. Good decision. Clear bat and pad there.
It looked kind of high also.
Look very high also, but I tell you something, Sir Brown. That is very close to the inside edge. Definitely will come back by Green. Brown lives to fight another day. So at the end of the over, the score is 95 for the loss of 1. Kenna Lewis is on 64. With him is Brown on 14. So it's going to be Patrick Artie Jr. Left arm over the wicket. And it's going to be bowling to the big Kenna Lewis. The Tala was opening batter in Lewis. Scoring over 1,000 runs for the Talawas so far in the Euro CPL. So he's no nonsense player, Lewis. Loves to get busy. As in comes Artie to bowl to Lewis. He's choking out to cover. Can't score. So a beautiful day here at Sabina Park for this crucial encounter between those two teams. As in comes Artie to bowl to Lewis. He's cutting the ball down to third man. 4 more runs to Lewis. It was short, and Hillis does help it on his way down to the third man boundary. 4 more runs to Lewis. He's up to 68. The score is up to 99 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park. I tell you what, Lewis just used the pace of the ball and just guide it down to the vacant third man boundary for 4 runs. Lovely looking shot there by Lewis. Artie on top of his mark from the Michael Olin end. In he comes to bowl to Lewis. He's back driving this one in front of point for an easy single. Lewis is up to 69. The score is up to 100 for the loss of 1. I tell you what, Lewis have the bowling at his mercy. Lewis showing that he's bigger than the level cricket that he's playing here in the domestic league in Jamaica. So Lewis is up to 69. Brown is on 14 in strike. So the field for Brown, mid on, mid off, straightest mid wicket, deep, square leg, cover, extra cover, and a man at point, as well as a slip. As in comes Artie to bowl to Brown, who's back driving this one through cover point, down to the boundary for 4 runs. That was sweetly timed by Brown. I just caressed it through the cover point for 4 runs. I'm telling you something, this youngster is a class, a touch player, Sir Brown. Definitely, as you can hear in the background, he's a class, but quite rightly so. That was a sweetly timed shot by Carlos Brown. 104 for the loss of 1. As in comes Patrick Artie to bowl to Brown, who's cutting the ball. There's a sweep one there. Across for 1. Will it get there? Good run here by Paul Harris for 4 runs. 4 more runs to Brown. This youngster is stroking the ball sweetly. That ball was caressed off the back foot. Same vacant area. cover point region, down to the cover point boundary. 4 runs to Brown. He's up to the 20. He's into the 20s now. Brown. The score is up to 112 for the loss of 1. Brown is up to 22. With him is Big Lewis on 69. 108. Thanks, my scorers. So it's a good reply so far by the St. Catherine team. 108 for loss of 1 here at South Minor Park. Pursuit of 320 for first innings. As in comes Harty to bowl to Brown. Brown is forward playing out to cover. And there is no run. At the end of the over, 108 for the loss of 1. Back to you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much, Marlon King. That was a long spell from you before lunch and after lunch. So the score, St. Catherine 108 for 1, replying to 320. And once they get this total below 200, which is a psychological mark, they're going to start believe more. So we have seen some impressive batting here from the 2 St. Catherine batsmen at the crease. Brown look at his elegant best and Lewis looking at his brutal best. Lewis is on 68. Brown is on 22. This total 108. Derval Green will continue from the northern end of the ground. He will be bowling to Lewis. He passes the umpire just about now and bowl to Lewis short. Edges down to the man at a wide third slip, or you could say a gully, and there is no run. He was just looking to dab that into the gap, but could not beat the fielder at third slip, and there is no run, or a gully. Let's see where he's second. You could say, yes, a gully. Let's call him gully. So there's a slip, a gully, a man on the backward point boundary, a man on the cover boundary, a man on the long off boundary, an extra cover. So there are 4 persons saving the single. The others are on the boundary. Green bowl to Lewis, and Lewis forward defensive. A sweet sound coming from the bat as that bat raced out to the man at cover. Oh, it was a defensive stroke, but it raced to the man at cover, and there is no run. This is looking ominous for Kingston. They need to get the breakthrough here. St. Catherine is playing with great intent. 2 lovely shots by Carlos Brown in the last over of Akeem Fraser as we watch Green passes the umpire and bowl, and he guides it. Hedge guide, that's a dedicated hedge. They'll call it a dedicated edge as it goes between first slip and gully down to the third man boundary for 4. He just guided it, or as I said, they usually call that one an educated edge as it goes down into the third man boundary for 4. So you know moves up. So they are changing the score for Carlos Brown on the scoreboard. But it is not Carlos Brown, it is Lewis. It is Lewis who edged it. I think Lewis is on 72. So they are putting the score at the wrong place. The score is now 112 for 1. 112 for 1. So Lewis is signaling to someone. He's signaling to someone. There seems to be something here, but I know there's a lot of talking on the field between the 2 sets of players. But Lewis, he has came out after lunch like a man possessed. He hit the very first ball high over extra cover for 6. Wow, almost into South Camp Road. The rules of this competition is that the overs have to be bowled. It doesn't matter how long, it has to be bowled. They have to bowl. As Green over the wicket, bowl to Lewis, and Lewis guides the ball into the offside. The fielder at gully run, gave chase, and he failed to pick up, and they got a single. They got 2. So, sloppy feeling there from Kingston. The ball was guided into the offside by Lewis. The fielder at gully gave chase. He stopped it with his foot. He relaxed, and as soon as the batsmen saw that he relaxed, they came back for the second run. So good batting here, good running here from St. Catherine. So that's 76 for Lewis. He's on 76. With him, Carlos Brown on 22, 115. 115 it is for 1. That's Green. Moves in now from us. runs away from us, passes the umpire, ball to Lewis, and Lewis dab this ball down to the man at gully, and they go through for a quick singer. Oh, he just relaxed the wrist, he just slackened that wrist, and he just dabbed it into the gap. The man at gully charging, but he could not prevent the singer as the total now pushed up to 116 for 1. Lewis is on 76. Carlos Brown now comes into strike. He is on 22. There's discussion among the Kingston players as the umpire asks for the ball from Green, who tosses it to the umpire. There seems to be some adjustment that Kennard Lewis is making. So this is a good knock from Kennard Lewis. He's on 76. Brown is on 22. When he was coming out to bat, there were arguments from the Kingston Cricket Club players that he cannot bat. There are a number of Kingston supporters who were saying that he cannot bat. Now he's on 76 and looking very threatening. 116 for 1. So Green is going to bowl to Lewis. So there's a backward point on the boundary. Then there's a slip and a ring of 3 fielders on the offside. Green bowl to Brown, who drives, and it peels off the outside edge of the bat, and it runs down to third man, and the fielder on the backward point boundary, he has to run to his left, and by the time he does that, the batsmen are through for 2. So 2 more to Carlos Brown. He's now on 24. St. Catherine now they'll move up to 118 for 1. Just another 202. As Green walks back slowly to the top of his mark. He looks up a little. He rubs the ball on his funnel. He just about turned. He looks up and see that Brown is ready. He passes the umpire just about now, bowl to Brown, and Brown defends into the offside, and there's no run. So at the end of the over, St. Catherine Cricket Club, replying to 319 all out made by Kingston, are 118 for 1. Lewis is on 76. With him, Carlos Brown on 24. So that's the latest score at Savannah Park. So St. Catherine, they need another 202 runs to win from 57 overs. That's less than 4 runs per over. So they need less than 4 runs per over. 202 in 57 overs. And according to competition rules, those overs have to be bowled. As long as the light is good, as long as playing condition is good, those overs, there's no cut-off time to bowl those overs. Only cut-off time is the quality of the light. As we watch Patrick Arty, the left-arm orthodox spinner, he will be coming round the wicket to bowl to Kennard Lewis. Let's watch the field. There's a slip, and there's a man in no man's land about 15 meters off the third man boundary. Arty round the wicket, bowl to Lewis, and Lewis sweeps that down behind square, down into the boundary for 4. Oh, Lewis is playing a gem of an innings here. Oh, that was down the leg side, and Kennard Lewis swept it away, down backward of square leg for 4. Interestingly, Lewis is accessing every part of the field, and it is becoming very difficult for Kingston to set a field to Lewis because he's playing shots all around the wicket. He's playing shots, and it is now becoming very difficult for a field to set. They need to set a field on one side and bowl on one side, like a 7-2 or a 6-3 field. That's what they need to do, and bowl on one side of the wicket. They are bowling on both sides, and Lewis is getting the freedom to play shots all around the ground. He moves on to 80. With him, Carlos Brown on 24. The score is now 122. So that total has gone down below 200. It's now 198. St. Catherine, they with 56 overs and 5 deliveries to get it. Arty round the wicket, bowl to Lewis short, and he cuts it away down to the man on the back cover boundary who field, and they are back for 2. There's this good running here, good running. He fumbled just a little in front of the Kingston Cricket Club, and they are back for the second. So he moves up now to 82. The score up to 124. And Lewis cut that ball. He cuts it very hard. And the fielder on the cover point boundary, he did his best but was unable. He was unable to prevent the second run. Let's see. Harty round the wicket to bowl to Lewis. Short again, and Lewis cuts. This one is straight to the man on the cover boundary who field. He picked up cleanly and send the return in. Lewis moves up to 83. The score moves up to 125 for 1. Carlos Brown now comes in to strike. After this over, another 56 overs remaining to be bowled. St. Catherine Cricket Club are looking good here. This is a good start. But 190 runs is still a lot of runs to get. There's still some work to do. Artie bowled to Brown. That one touchdown and beaten outside the half stump. A loud appeal, not outside the umpire. So that was a good delivery, touchdown. And the batsman pushes forward. It beats the outside edge and there was a loud appeal. Wow, not outside the umpire. There's a slip, a backward point, a cover point on the boundary, extra cover. So there are two sweeper on the offside boundary, and then there's a long off as Artie in bowl to Brown and run off the back foot, and he cuts it to one of those fielders on the cover boundary, and they're through for a single. The total moves up to 127. Brown himself moves up to 25. With him on 83 is Kenar Lewis, who's now back on strike, and the fielders are just spreading. Men are just running to all part of the field. As we look on one, only the extra cover and the slip inside of the circle. Ball down the leg side again, he swept this down behind square. They're gone for one, the fielder picked up, and they second and one. Good work by the fielder on the backward square leg boundary, although the return was poor, but he restricted the batsman to one, and so the score now moves up to 127. Lewis himself has moved on to 84 and is closing in on a century here. With him is Carlos Brown on 25. At the end of the over, 56 overs remaining in the day's play. St. Catherine are 127 for 1. That means they need another 193 runs to win from 56 overs. Lewis is on 86. With him, Carlos Brown on 25. It's 127 for 1. So clearly, Kenar Lewis has hit Derval Green out of the attack. And we will see Paul Harris return from the other end of the ground. Paul Harris only Kingston bowler he got the wicket of Moraine Simpson, Moraine Williams, who chipped up the pitch, did not get to the pitch of the delivery and skied a catch to Derval Green running in off the long on boundary. And so Moraine Williams went for 16 with the score at 46. As we look, the field just spread wide. Harris round the wicket, bowl to Lewis, who cuts this to the man on the cover boundary and go through for a single. So he moves up now to 85. The score moves up to 128 for 1. With Lewis is Carlos Brown on 25 as the fielders close in as Brown comes into strike, and Brown is a very competent batsman. He has represented Jamaica this year in the regional 4-day cricket competition. He is highly talked about as one of the best batsmen in the country. Harris round the wicket, bowl to Brown short, and he punches that ball into the offside, onside. He just strokes it to the man at mid-wicket. That's look like Joel Yuan, who is at mid-wicket. Let's look as Harris round the wicket, bowl to Brown on the back foot again, and he just turns this one into the vicinity of the square leg umpire, and they're through for a comfortable single. He moves up to 26. Lewis comes into strike on 85 and the fielders are disappearing to the boundary. Let's see. So there's a long on, there's a mid wicket, there's a cow corner, there's a mid wicket, a long on, a cow corner, mid wicket, a slip. On the offside, there are 4 fielders from third man to long off on the boundary. Round the wicket go Harris, and that one was outside the off stump, and Lewis just allows it to go through. So there are 4 fielders on the boundary from third man right round to long off. The extra cover is the only fielder and the slip, would you say, inside the circle. Ball, and he swings this away over the top into Kingston Cricket Club. Let's watch the signal. 6 runs by the umpire. So it was down on one knee, and he swings this high and hard over cow corner into the Kingston Cricket Club for 6. He moves on to 91. Kennard Lewis is playing a little gem here. Wow, wow, wow. Let's watch the score. It has now moved up to 130. Is it 135 or 134? Around the wicket go Harris to Lewis on the back foot, and he cuts this down to the fielder on the backward point boundary, and they threw for a single. He moves up to 92. Wow, they are going great guns here. So that score is not right. The score is saying 129, but that can't be right. I think it's about 136. Are they scoring too fast for the scorer? Let's see. Yes, 130. Let's see the other number, the next number that he's going to put up on the scoreboard here. It should be a 6. Yes, it's 136. So they are going much. The rate at which Kingston Cricket, St. Catherine batsmen are scoring is faster than the scorer can adjust the cricket board. So at the end of the over, the score is 136 for 1 as we welcome back Marlon Pinnock to the commentary.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Brown. Definitely a hostile bit of batting here by Lewis. He's scoring very freely, is Lewis. 92, 39 deliveries. Lewis came back out after lunch in no nonsense mode, hitting the very first ball of Derval Green over extra cover for 6, and that's service close Green's account. So we haven't seen Derval Green from that over. Lewis take 14 from, or is it 16? So it's going to be Patrick Horty to battle with Kennard Lewis. So 3 fielders in the circle for Lewis. Every other fielder is deep. So the field for Lewis, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, long on, long up, extra cover, deep point, a slip cover, and a fine leg. As in comes Artie to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is playing forward. Good single. Good single there by Lewis. Lewis has pushed the ball into our side. Brown accepted the call, and quite rightly so, and there's an easy single in the end, but Artie is down. The ball hit Artie in his knees, and the wicket keeper as well pulls something there. So Lewis is up by a single up to 93. With him is Brown. On 26, 137 for the loss of 1 here at Savannah Park. 27 to Brown. What a reply by the St. Catherine team.
Sorry, you could just
Earlier, Kingston were dismissed for 319. Morris getting 147. Javoy Royal for the catching team, 5 for 87. Pete Salmon 3 for 69. In reply, St. Catherine cricket team, 137 for the loss of 1. Orion Williams went for 14 of the bowling of Harris. And from there on, it's all Kennard Lewis show. 82 from 92. from 40 deliveries. He's been supported by Brown, who's on 27. 137 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park in this crucial finals between these two teams. So far, partnership worth 97. So the field for Brown, a slip cover, point, mid on, mid off, mid wicket, and a deep square leg, an extra cover. As in comes Artie to bowl to Brown, who's playing back along the pitch. Artie fields, and there is no run. Reminding you, it's the finals of the Jamaica Cricket Association 2-day competition. The final day of the final is in comes Artie to bowl to Brown, who's playing back along the pitch, can't score. Score is kept on 137 for the loss of 1. Kenor Lewis is on 93. With him is Brown on 26. In comes Artie to bowl to Brown. Brown is playing forward out to cover. And there is no run. Score remains at 137 for the loss of 1. Brown playing a nice inning so far. His in comes Artie to bowl to Brown. Brown is looking to turn this one on the onside. A loud appeal. Umpire not interested. And quite rightly so, that ball was missing leg stump by some margin. Very good appeal there by the Kingston team. Brown continues to bottle away as in comes Artie to bowl to Brown. Brown is cutting the ball for 1. Will you think about the second? Good work there by Barris Hutchinson to deep, diving away the big fellow Hutchinson and save 2 runs.
Barris!
Good work there by the 37-year-old Barris Hutchinson. Past students of the Homewood Technical High School. He used to play for the combined college and campuses. Is Hutchinson, so he's a player who will fight right till the end. Is Hutchinson, very determined player. Good stop there by Hutchinson. He saved 2 runs there, Mr. Brown. Definitely. At the end of the over, 139 for the loss of 1. Brown is up to 28. Big Kenor Lewis is on 93. In pursuit of 320 for first innings, and catching in reply 139 for the loss of 1 wicket. I tell you what, Oren Williams should be kicking himself inside the dressing room, seeing how these 2 players are scoring very freely. And it's a nice flat batting wicket.
Barris Swamp there, sir. Barris Swamp, where you the pan?
Big Barris Hutchinson diving around at the age of 37. So it's going to be, at the moment, it's going to be Paul Harris to continue battle with Kenor Shotgun Lewis. From our commentary end, the Courtney Walsh end. In comes Harris to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is leaving this one outside the off, through to the wicket keeper Morris. Lewis is not tempted to play the cut shot. So it's going to be Harris on top of his mark. Passes the umpire now to bowl to Lewis, who is playing forward back along the pitch. And there is no run. So Harris is the only wicket to fall of Williams. So in comes Paul Harris to go to Kenor Lewis. He's playing on to a reckon short cover, and it comes through for the single. I tell you what, Kenor Lewis is batting really well here at Sabina Park. Mr. Brown, it's the first I'm seeing Lewis with this insult. He's looking to rotate the strike and he's looking for the hot ball to put away. Definitely good batting here by Kenor Lewis. He's a man with plan, is Lewis. In comes Harris to bowl. Brown who's sweeping the ball to 32, I reckon. Lewis is on 94. The score is 144 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park. I tell you what, St. Catherine came out after lunch with a different intention, Mr. Brown. As it's gonna be Harris to continue battle with Brown. In he comes to bowl to Brown. Brown is choking that down to a straightest mid wicket. Can't score. The score is kept on 144 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park. Sun out in its glory. Absolutely wonderful day here at Sabina Park for cricket. As in comes Harris to bowl to Brown. Brown is forward. Solid in defense. Plays back along the pitch. Brown is solid in defense. Very solid. He's a compact player. Is Carlos Brown. All over the country I've heard about Carlos Brown. And he's shown why he's always been talked about Carlos Brown. Very talented cricketer indeed he is. The man who is doing the majority of the scoring is Kenor Lewis. 94 from 42 deliveries. 144 for the loss of 1. So in pursuit of 320 made by Kingston, St. Catherine just need 176 more runs from 53 overs. 76 runs to get from 53 overs. That's just over 300 overs around. So it's going to be a change of bowling from the Michael Olden end. It's going to be Fraser, is it? Yes. Scorpion off spinner Fraser. Usually played for the UAE team. Very good off spinner. At 4-5 wicket all for the Scorpions is Fraser. Akeem Fraser. So it's no nonsense bowler is Fraser. Very experienced. Very good cricketer. So the field for Fraser to Lewis is long on, long off, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, and deep point. As ace comes Fraser to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is just turning this one towards the onside. Morant is in the way, can't score. 144 for the loss of 1 here at Sabina Park in this crucial encounter between those two teams, Kingston and St. Catherine team. Lewis is on 94. In comes Fraser to bowl to Lewis. A stifled appeal here by the Kingston team. Umpire not interested, and quite rightly so. So the field for Lewis is a man at cover. Long on, long off. A straightish mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. All on the fence for Lewis. Lewis is on 94 from 44 deliveries. As in comes Akeem Fraser to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is sweeping the ball in the air. Will the catch be taken? The catch is taken. Lewis goes caught for 94. Akeem Fraser strikes in his very first over. Lewis goes for 94, caught by the youngster off the ball in a Fraser for 94. Lewis can't believe. My Lewis was looking dangerous, but Lewis find the only feeler at the deep backward square leg boundary straight down his throat, and Lewis has to go. Caught. McCann ball Fraser for 94. Yo. At the wicket, the new batter, Shaffer Royal. St. Catherine just lost their second wicket. Kenal Lewis goes caught in the deep of the bowling of Akeem Fraser for 94. So then caught by Yuan of the bowling of Fraser for 94 from 46 deliveries. So the new batsman is Javoy Royal. So Brown is on 32. Royal yet to get off the mark. As in comes Akeem Fraser. In comes Akeem Fraser to bowl to Royal. Royal is steering this one in front of point, looking a single. Carlos Brown not interested, sends him back, and there is no run. 144 for the loss of 2 in pursuit of 320 for first innings points here at Sabina Park. Akeem Fraser with ball in hand. In he comes to bowl to Royal, who is choking this one down to mid-off. Derval Green is in the way, can't score. Pretty decent start here by Akeem Fraser. Very good off spinner is Fraser. You don't want to underestimate Akeem Fraser. Do a lot with this cricket ball is Fraser. In he comes to bowl to Royal. To this delivery, Royal is playing forward back along the pitch, can't score. At the end of the over, it's 144 for loss of 2. Brown is on 32. Royal yet to score. The last wicket to fall. Kenal Lewis goes caught for 94. Back to you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Marlon Pinnock. And Kenal Lewis was a very, very, very disappointed man. He took at least 30 to 45 seconds before he got up off his knee. He was a ball down the leg side by Akeem Fraser. And he swept it, and he swept it powerfully and picked out the ball. On the back with it. Just above his head. On the back was really boundary. So, St. Catherine 144 for 2. Continue. He will be bowling round the wicket to Carlos Brown. Carlos Brown, who is on 32 with him, is Javoy Royal, who is a good batsman at this level, is yet to score. Brown allows that one to go through outside the off stump, and the keeper takes. So Javoy Royal is no mug with the bat at this level. He had scored some good runs for St. Catherine Cricket Club. Harris round the wicket to Brown, and Brown defends down on the offside of the pitch. The bowler in his follow-through field, and there is no run. So they're chirping on the field, they're chirping now as Harris again to Brown, and Brown covers up, this time down the onside of the pitch. So having gotten that wicket now, Kingston will be looking to tighten the screw here. It was a good wicket for Kingston to get. There are many, many disappointed people in the commentary boxes. Brown defends on the onside, and there is no run. So that was a made wicket from Akeem Fraser just now, and Paul Harris is trying to follow up now with another maiden. He's bowling tight here. Or get a wicket would be better. Round the wicket now to bowl to Brown. Brown is a key batsman here for the St. Catherine Cricket Clubs, and he defends again. He knows that he needs to get a big one here for St. Catherine to win this match. If they bat out the day, they will win. They are not a team that is going to defend out this day. They are well ahead of the run rate at this time. Bowl, and they go for a big shot. Will he be out? There's a chance for another catch. Yes, he's out. There goes Brown, and the Kingston fielders are cock-a-hoop. Brown, one tossed up outside the off stump, and Brown went for a big shot. It skied high in the air. The man came in off the cover boundary, and St. Catherine have lost their third wicket, and Kingston have struck with the total on 144. They struck twice. So both batsmen who were at the crease, who put on 98 runs for the second wicket, both have now gone with the score on 144. So Brown gone for 32. So there seemed to be some confrontation on the field here. A batsman is out, and there seemed to be some. What is going on? What is going on here? What is going on here? There seems to be some confrontation as they have to be. What is going on? We do not understand what is going on. This is a cricket match. What is going on? We don't understand what is going on. We don't understand what is going on here. Something must have been said. Something must have been said here, but there seem to be some words exchanged. And there seemed to be something have been said. So what went on there just now? I do not know. We'll try to find out what went on there. Who was the guy? Who was the No, that was yeah. So there seemed to be a little conflict there between Nicholas Nelson and Javoy Royal. So St. Catherine have lost 2 wickets in 2 overs. So what was going on there? So Brown gave his wicket away. So St. Catherine, they just need to temper this chase. They're in charge. They just need to bat out the day. They need 176 to win from 51 overs. 50 overs after this was Jordan bowled. That's Akeem Fraser bowled to Roy, and Royal drives this down to long on, and they are through for a single. So we're at the start of the 25 overs. So 50 overs after this one. 50 overs and 5 balls to get 175 runs. So St. Catherine batsmen, they are natural stroke player, and if they bat out the day, they will win the match. Well, while I understand the shot play by Kenner Lewis, I cannot understand the one that was played by Carlos Brown. He chased a wide ball, he got the toe end of the bat, and it went high in the air, and the fielder on the cover boundary ran in and took a comfortable catch. So St. Catherine lost 2 wickets with the score on 144. So let's watch as Akeem Fraser, the right arm off spinner, Jamaica off spinner, over the wicket and bowled to Pete Salmon, and Pete Salmon turns the ball into the onside, and there's no run. The score remained on 145. Interestingly, Akeem Fraser is the one who, Pete Salmon is the one who replaced Akeem Fraser in the Jamaica team. As we watch Akeem Fraser over the wicket to bowl to Pete Salmon. Pete Salmon is a good batsman at this level, and he defends back to the bowler. So these 2 batsmen, although for Jamaica they will bat 9 and 10 and so on, at this level they are good batsmen. We have seen in the regional Super 50 last year where someone bat at number 6. Fraser bowled to him and he drives this through the covers in the air. They're gone for 1, they turn for the second, and that's all they will get as Hutchinson move into his right smartly on the cover boundary field and send the return in. The bowler has to run away a little back from the stump to collect the return, but no damage done, and they are through for 2. The score now moves up to 147 for 3. So Salmon is on 2, Royal is on 1, and St. Catherine need to do some rebuilding here. As Fraser over the wicket, bowled to Salmon, and Salmon defends down up on the offside of the pitch. Fraser in his follow-through field, and there's no run. Watch Fraser again here, bowled to Salmon. The match is getting tight. Up to the wicket and bowled to Salmon. Salmon off the back foot. That one bounced more than expected, and the keeper good take there by the keeper. Salmon was getting on the back foot, looking to cut the delivery away, but it bounced more than it was expected, and it was through to the keeper. Good take. At the end of the 25th over, with 50 overs remaining, St. Catherine Cricket Club looking to get 320 to win, or 147 for 3. So this is developing to a very feisty contest. Some needling is in the middle. Once Royal is there, there's a lot of needling. We saw it in the semi-finals also against St. Elizabeth, where there was a lot of needling once Royal was there, as Harris bowled to Royal and Royal defends into the offside and there is no run. So Nicholas Nelson is the field at cover or field as we watch Harris round the wicket, bowl to Royal, and Royal strokes the ball into the offside, in the gap. They're going for one. They feel on the cover boundary. Who's Ewart comes in and send a good return in to the keeper, and on the one run for Royal. He now moves up to 2. The score moves up to 148 for 3. Both batsmen are on 2. As we watch, there's a slow backward point, an extra cover, mid-off. Sweeper is on the boundary. There's a mid-on, there's a mid-wicket, and there's a man on the mid-wicket boundary. Harris bowled, someone and someone strokes the ball nicely to the field at extra cover with Nelson. So Nelson, Nicholas Nelson is the field at extra cover, and there's no 148 for 3. Harris round the wicket to someone and someone bowled. He leave one alone and he's bowled, and Kingston are having the upper hand now. Kingston are charging back. Wow, so after that 90-run partnership, Kingston have now gotten 3 wickets for 4 runs. Oh, Kingston are charging back. That was bad judgment on the part there of Pete Salmon. He left a straight one from Paul Harris, and they run towards their club. Oh, they run straight towards their club. That's the Kingston Cricket Club there, and they run straight towards it to their coach, Terence Clark. So they have struck. Oh, Kingston have gotten now 3 wickets for 4 runs, and they are fighting back. So after that mammoth partnership of 98 between Kennard Lewis and Carlos Brown, Kingston have now picked up 3 wickets for 4 runs, with Harris getting 2 and Akeem Fraser getting 1. That was bad judgment there on the part of Pete Salmon. One was dead straight. It came in with the arm and he was out bowled. That one was dead straight. Poor judgment there. Let's watch. Kingston is really now large and in charge at this stage. They still need another 172 runs. The over is not an issue. Bowl to Bennett, and Bennett looking to turn that one down the leg side, and there's no run. So that one pitched and turned, and Bennett looking to turn it down the leg side, and there's no run. Bennett that?
Yeah.
Bennett faces up the defense. That one's loud appeal, not outside the umpire. That one got the inside edge first, then onto the pad. So there was bat first. So at the end of the 26th over, St. Catherine Cricket Club are 148 for 4, replying to 319 made by Kingston Cricket Club, as we welcome back Marlon Pinnock.
This lean. Thank you, Sir Brown. So a collapse here by the St. Catherine team. 3 quick wickets there to the Kingston team. Lewis, then Brown, and then of course skipper Pete. As in comes the ball to Royal, hitting the ball high in the air. Is the catch been taken? 6 runs. He took the catch, but his foot was on the ropes. Royal advancing down the track, hitting the ball high. over long on. The fielder down there was Nelson.
And Nelson.
Took the catch, but his feet was on the ropes. So 6 runs to Javoy Royal. Royal turned this one towards the onside, and there is no run. .154 for the loss of 4. Javoy Royal is on 8. With him is Bennett, yet to score. So Fraser picking up the important wicket of Kenner Lewis in his very first over. He's continuing to battle with Javoy Royal. Royal is on 8. Bennett yet to score. 154 for the loss of 4. As in comes Fraser to bowl to Royal, who's getting a ball wrapped in the pad. Stifled appeal, and there is no run. The ball trickles out to a reckoned square leg. The keeper jogs across, retrieve the ball, and there is no run. 154 for the loss of 4 here at Sabina Park in this crucial encounter. Remind you all listeners, Kingston haven't won Senior Cup in over a decade. Is this a turnaround here at Sabina Park in front of their own fans here in Kingston, Jamaica? On South Camp Road, Sabina Park in Kingston, Jamaica. As in comes Fraser to bowl to Royal. Royal is advancing down the chat defense. Can't score. Very decent line being bowled by Akeem Fraser. Scorpion off spinner. Very decent off spinner indeed. As in comes Fraser to bowl to Royal. Royal is cutting this one down to, I reckon, deep backward point. For an easy single. Patrick Ortiz in the way. That's all they will get. The score is up by a single. 155 for the loss of 4. So St. Catherine in a spot of bother now. Losing 3 quick wickets in 3 overs. Lewis went first in that slide. He went for 94 of the bowling of Fraser. Then Brown caught of the bowling of Harris for 32. And then last but not least, someone bowled, misjudged one from Harris, and he was bowled for 3. So St. Catherine in reply to Kingston 319, 155 for the loss of 4. It's going to be Paul Harris to continue. In comes Paul Harris to bowl to Royal, who's sweeping ball wrapped in the pad. It's outside the off stump. Good call. Good call by the umpire. That ball hit him outside the line of the off stump. And good call, quite rightly so, by umpire Chris. So in comes Paul Harris to bowl to Javoy Royal, who is steering this one down to third man. Will it have the wings to get there just in time? 4 runs to Javoy Royal. He's up to 13. The score is up to 159 for the loss of 4 here at Sabina Park. Left arm orthodox Paul Harrison. 3 wickets to his name so far. He's a pick of the Kingston bowling by far thus far. So Javoy Royal is on 13. Bennett yet to score. Paul Harris on top of his mark wearing the number 18 jersey. Sees that Javoy Royal is ready. In he comes, passes umpire Chris to bowl to Royal. Royal is paddle sweeping this one. 4 more runs. Lovely shot by Javoy Royal. 4 more runs to his credit. He's up to 17. The score is up to 163 now for the loss of 4. I tell you what, that shot was superbly timed by Royal. So in his class, showing his skills is Royal. A very talented young cricketer. Played C-play for a number of years and been doing well with ball. Very decent left arm spinner. Good feeler. He can help himself with the bat. Now is time to do so. As in comes Harris to bowl to Royal, playing Out to a straightest mid-wicket, can't score. The score is kept on 163 for the loss of 4. Jabbar Royal is on 17. With him is Bennett yet to score. Field for Royal, cover. Point, extra cover, long off, deep mid-wicket. As in comes Aristobal to Royal, who's tearing this one down to third man. They're cross for one. Will they think about the second? They're back for the second. That's all they will get. So the score is up by 2 to 165. Royal is up to 19. Bennett yet to score. So 165 for the loss of 4. Royal up to 19. Bennett yet to score. Harris with figures of 3 for 59. Sees that Royal is ready. In he comes. The ball to Royal. Royal is choking the ball sweetly down to long off for an easy single. Big Hutchinson's in the way. That's all they will get. So at the end of the over, 166 for the loss of 4. Jabbar Royal is on 20. With him is Bennett yet to score. I tell you what, St. Catherine was going great guns, but that 3-wicket there, Sir Brown, really changed the pace of the cricket game. Roy is looking really good. He's up to 19. 165 for the loss of 4. As his drinks on day 2 of the evening session between Kingston team and the St. Catherine cricket team. Yeah, of course. Shot it and call it. Okay.
Was at school together?
Yeah, same class, everything. I didn't play for Jamaica, same time, everything. Best friend for you right through school.
What's up, yes,
Yeah. So we are back live after the drinks break. It's going to be Akeem Fraser, the container battle with Jovoy Royal, who is on 19. With him is Bennett yet to score 165 for loss of 4 in pursuit.
You know, just press down by the person, yeah, man, and send it.
It's going to be Fraser. To bowl to Royal, will punching this one down to me down for he's a single. The score pushes up by a single, up to 166 for the loss of 4. Royal up to 20. Bennett is in strike yet to score. So the field for Bennett is cover, a point, mid on, long on, forward short leg, a slip, and a straight edge mid wicket, and a mid wicket deep. Seemed to me that Patrick Arty is heading towards a leg slip. So it's going to be Fraser. In he comes to bowl to Bennett. Bennett is turning this one towards the onside. The one Nelson is in the way. Can't score. 165 for the loss of 4. So there's a slight adjustment in the field. Long on comes to mid on. As Fraser looks up, sees that Bennett is ready. In he comes, the ball to Bennett. Bennett is driving straight. Good work here by Derval Green. Only a single, so Bennett is off the mark. 167 for the loss of 4. Bennett onto 1. Royal on 20. So the field for Royal. Deep mid wicket, deep squirrel, leg and long on, and deep point is all on the boundary. So it's going to be Akeem Fraser. In he comes, passes the umpire just now. To bowl to Royal. He's playing forward. There's a loud appeal, not out, said by the umpire. Seemed to me Royal having a few words with Morrison. So 167 for the loss of 4. Royal on 20. Bennett on 1. In pursuit of 320 for first innings. As in comes Fraser to bowl to Royal, who's sweeping the ball down to deep. Square leg for an easy single. Royal is up to 21. The score is up to 168 for the loss of 4. Reminding you, Kingston made 319 in their first innings. In reply, St. Catching 167 for the loss of 4. Kenner Lewis went for 94. Beautiful day here at Sabina Park for cricket. Sun out in his glory. This is Akeem Fraser. In he comes. Passes umpire now to bowl to Bennett. Bennett is beaten outside the arse stump. That ball was way outside the off stump. I don't think Bennett should be playing after that ball, but he played and got beaten outside the off stump. At the end of the over, 168 for the loss of 4. Royal on 21 and Bennett on 1. Back to you, Mr. Brown.
Sabina Park, St. Catherine Cricket Club. They need another 152 runs to win in 47 overs. Let's see, 46 overs. So they need another 152 runs to win in 46 overs. So the overs are listed there as Harris to bowl to Royal and Royal out. Oh, no, it's not out. I thought that ball hit the stump there. He swept, and I thought that ball hit the stump there. What happened there? Where was that sound? There was a sound. What that came from? It's something. Clearly, it's something as Royal is sending something off the field. That clearly, it's something. What did it? As he tried to sweep that one. Let's watch. What happened there? For Royal has taken off his helmet. I do not know what is going on here. He's now replacing the helmet on top of his head. Needing another 152 to win from 45.5 overs. Royal is on 21. Bennett, the former BB Cook batsman. I've asked several times for Bennett first name, but I've not received it. Let's watch. Harris round the wicket, ball to Royal. Royal on the back foot strokes the ball into the cover, and there is no run. So Royal, there's a slip, a backward point, cover on the boundary, long off on the boundary. Harris round the wicket, ball to Royal. Royal defends into the offside, and there is no run. So we are in the 30th over, being bowled by Paul Harris. He is bowling to Javoy Royal, who's on 21. He's playing a good little hand here. 152 needed by St. Catherine. Harris bowled to Royal, and Royal drives into the cover, beat the man at extra cover. They're gone for one, and that's all they will do as the fielder on the cover boundary kept it down to one. Good movement there from Yuan on the cover boundary. So Royal moves up now to 22. Bennett is coming to strike, and the man under the helmet at forward short leg. So there's a slip, a backward point. The fielder on the cover boundary is coming to an orthodox cover. Harris bowled to Bennett, and Bennett turns this into the onside, and there's no run. Forward short leg gave chase and picked up, and there is no run. So let's look. So there's a slip, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, and a backward square leg on the boundary and a forward short leg. Harris round the wicket, ball to Bennett. Bennett on the front, and he defends that. Back to the bowler. So at the end of the over, the score is 169 for 4. Let's watch Akeem Fraser from the Georgia distance end. He will bowl to Royal, and Royal get the inner portion of the bat, and the bat squeezed out into the onside. The keeper gave chase from behind the stump, and the batsman allowed time to go through for a single. So Royal has moved up to 23. The score is now 170, so exactly 150 needed from 44 overs and 5 deliveries. Let's watch Akeem Fraser to bowl to Bennett. Over the wicket and bowl to Bennett, and Bennett go for a big shot down behind square, 4 runs. And he swept that away down behind square for 4. So Fraser was down the leg side, and Bennett pulled out the sweep, and he swept it away down behind square leg for 4. So 4 more runs. 1-5. So St. Catherine now needs 146. The next total must be 99. Fraser bowled Bowl to Bennett, and Bennett again swings this away down behind square. There's a fielder in position now, and they go through for a single. So Akeem Fraser continues to bowl down the leg side, and Bennett is capitalizing. He moves up now to 6. He moves up now to 6. The score is now 175 for 4. Royal is back on strike. He's on 23. Bennett is on 6. Fraser over the wicket to bowl to Royal. Royal defends the ball into the offside, and there is no run. 175. The score remained on 175. It's a tight match here. St. Catherine need to consolidate. At this time, I would prefer to be in the position of Kingston Cricket Club, despite Romel Lewis is still to come, and Romel Lewis is a very good batsman, and these two are putting together a nice little partnership here. They have had a 31. They have had a 31 so far for this 5th wicket partnership. Royal is on 23. He faces Fraser. Fraser to Royal, and Royal swings this. Let's see what will happen. The man coming off the cover boundary dropped. He reached there and he dropped the catch, and they're 2 for 2. Whoa. So that was outside the half stump, and Royal looking to hit it over cover. Got the outer portion of the bat. It went high in the air. The fielder in front of the Kingston Cricket Club, he ran hard, he got to it, he should have taken the catch, he got both hands to it, but he spilled the chance, and Royal lived to fight again. So Royal living dangerously. He was dropped on the long on boundary by Nicholas Nelson, and this time now he was dropped. Who's that fielder as we watch Akeem Fraser bowl to Royal on the back foot? He strokes it down to Boris Hutchinson at mid-off, and there's no run. So at the end of the over, the score is St. Catherine 177 for 4, looking to get 320 for first innings lead. So at this stage, St. Catherine need 143 from 44 overs. So the number of overs is not the issue. They have only 6 wickets in hand. As we watch, Bennett faces up to Harris. Harris is about to rub his hand in the pitch. He rubs it now. Just trying to dry the hand. Maybe it was sweaty. He's going to bowl round the wicket to bowl to Bennett. Bowls to Bennett, and Bennett turns that one in the onside. It seemed to be too sound there. It went down to fine leg. They gave chase from first leg. Let's watch the umpire. What's this? He's going to signal leg by. That was clearly missing, that bounce and turn. So 1 leg by. Extras now moves up to 13. Let's see. The extras is no, he scored. It's leg by. The scorer has given Bennett the run, but it was a leg by, so he needs to make the correction. 178 though, bowl to Royal. Royal defends out into the offside, so they need 142, and we are in the 32nd over. 43 to come after this one. Harris from the wicket, bowl to Royal. Royal drives down to the man and the long on boundary. That's Derval Green who field, and they're through for a single. Royal has now moved up to 27. The score turned over to 179. And so St. Catherine here putting up a good fight here, trying to deny Kingston their first trophy in over 20 years. As Bennett comes into strike, he appears to favor the leg side. So let's watch Harris round the wicket, bowl to Bennett, and Bennett defends jerkily, just pushing a look at there. They seem to have stiff wrist. He's onto the front foot too early. He's not allowing the ball to come to him. He just needs to relax a little more, play the ball from under his eye. as we watch Harris round the wicket, bowl to Bennett. That's much better. Very much better. He pushed out this time and he strokes it back down the pitch to the bowler on the offside who field in his follow through, and there's no run. Harris now past the umpire, just about now to bowl to Bennett, and Bennett turned this ball into the onside. They're gone for one. They will second one. The fielder off the backward square leg boundary did good work there and prevent the second. So he now moves up to 7, and the score now moves up to 181. So at this stage now, they need another 139 from 43 overs. At the end of the over, 181 for 4. The scoreboard have Bennett on 8, but he's not on 8. He's on 7 because they gave him a run that was a leg by that was signaled by the umpire. But the score is 181 for 4, needing 139 now to win from 43 overs, as Fraser will continue from the George Edley stand end. Fraser to bowl to Bennett. Over the wicket and bowl to Bennett, and Bennett drives down to the man at cover. That's Uchin, that mid-off, and there's no run. So it's looking good here. That was better time. There was a sweet sound coming off the bat, but there was no wrist in it. No wrist to guide the ball into the gap. Bowl to Bennett, and Bennett defends the ball to the man at forward short leg, and there's no run. He reached the pitch of that ball just now. He should have pierced the gap. He should have just used the wrist to pierce the gap. But let's look at Fraser. Bowl to him off the back foot, and he strokes it back to the bowler, Fraser. So 3 dot balls so far in this over. We are in the 33rd over. 42 to come after this one. As Fraser from the Georgia stand behind him, bowl to Bennett to clip this into the onside. The man comes in off the mid-wicket boundary and field, and they're through for a single. He now moves up to 8. The score moves up to 182 for 4. As Royal, who's on 27, comes back into strike. And so let's watch the field. As a forward short leg disappear, but the sub stays. We have a short mid-wicket and we have a cover mid-off. Those are the 4 fielders on the offside. Fraser comes in bowl to Royal. Royal cuts this ball down to third man. They're gone for 1. The fielder backward man gives chase. He fields now and they are back for 2. Comfortable 2. Royal will now move up to 29. The score will now move up to 184. So the scores now move up to 184. I cannot trust the scoreboard anymore. They have Bennett on 10. Bennett is certainly not on 10. Royal, it says on 29. I hope they'll make the correction soon, as Fraser bowl to Royal, and that one kept low, but he kept his eye on it and he blocked it back to the bowler. And at the end of the over, the scoreboard is saying the total is 184, which is probably right. 184 for 4. They need now 136 runs with 6 wickets in hand. So new bowler from the northern end of the ground, the bowler with number 34. Green! Green! Derval! Derval! Green! What's the bowler name? So RT has been switched to the northern end, the left arm orthodox spinner replacing Harris. Artie now, the left-arm orthodox spinner, was represented Jamaica, replacing Harris from the northern end. So let's watch Artie with 34 in his back. Round the wicket, ball to Bennett, and Bennett is defending the ball down back the pitch. The fielder forward, short leg field, and there's no run. Again, the gentleman is standing exactly in front of the scoreboard. It's 184 from memory. As we watch Artie bowl to Bennett, and Bennett defends on the bounce to the man at forward, short leg, and there's no run. Bennett seemed to favor in the offside there as Artie now round the wicket to bowl to Bennett, and Bennett, that one pitch and turned and it bounced, but he played that well. He didn't follow the ball. He kept the bat in line. He never followed the ball with his hands. So that was well played. Well played. Let's watch Artie again. Bowl to Bennett, and Bennett defends. Turn the ball into the onside, looking for a single that is not here. The keeper done great work from behind the stump by just running into a short gully, leg gully region and preventing the run. So that was well played. It pitched, it turned, but if you look, he did not follow the delivery with his hand. He just kept his position. Well played by Bennett. He seems to be a good batsman, although he favored the onside. Artie bowls to him, and he opened the face of the bat and runs it down to gully. So at the end of the over, the score remains 184 for 4. The scoreboard is saying that Bennett is on 10, I think he's 9, Royal is on 28, and the score 184 for 4. 44 overs remained in the day's play. So Fraser to continue from the southern end of the ground to bowl to Royal. In he comes, bowl to Royal over the wicket, and Royal turns this ball down to the man at short fine leg, and there is no run. So the score remained 184, 40 overs and 5 deliveries to go. A spattering at spectator for this finals at Sabina Park. We do not have 200 persons here as Fraser bowled to Royal, who uses feet, but then he defends the ball into the onside, and there's no wicket. So Akeem Fraser now bowling from the southern end, the Michael Holden end, with the George Ellis stand behind him as he comes in to bowl to Royal, in and bowl to Royal, and Royal going for a sweep, loud appeal. Let's see what happened. That very close, not outside the umpire. The skin scratching fielders can't believe that one. They just can't believe. Maybe height there. Royal looking for the sweep, but maybe height. It looked to be high as Royal sweeping and not making contact, and a loud appeal. They can't believe Fraser is looking to the heavens. But I think that one may just be going over the stump. Let's watch again as Fraser. Royal walks away, trying to compose himself. Let's watch Royal seconds now. It's Fraser over the wicket to bowl to Royal. He bowls, and Royal swings this away down to the man on the mid-wicket boundary, who field on the first attempt, and they're through for a single, and the return comes into the bowler, and Royal now moves up to 30, or is it, the score moves up 29. He moves up to 29. The score now should move up to 185. So the scoreboard operators correct the score. So he has Bennett on 8, he has Royal on 30, and the score is 185. He has Royal on 30. Watch Bennett. Fraser bowled to him, and he defends into the offside, and there is no run. So we are in the 35th over as we approach tea on day 2 of the finals here. St. Catherine needs another 135. And Bennett clipped this away to the man at mid-wicket. Oh, he made a moved to his right, but one bounce was unable to pull off that catch that was in the air. Bennett looking to clip that, but the fielder at mid-wicket dived forward, but could not come up with the catch. He just took it off the bounce, and that was a good effort there by who looks to be Yuan at mid-wicket. He was just unable to come up with the catch. Or was it Morant? It's Morant. That was Morant at mid-wicket. Was just unable to come up with the catch. So at the end of over number 35, with 40 remaining, 135 needed by St. Catherine with 6 wickets in hand. The score is 185 for 4. 30 for Royal and 8 for his partner Bennett. Artie to continue from the northern end round the wicket to bowl to Royal. Royal down the pitch, and he clips this down to the man on the long on boundary, who is Derval Green, and they walk through for a single. So Royal will now moves up to 31. The score now moves up to 186. St. Catherine chipping away at this total. Need another 124. 34. They need another 134 to win. Royal is on 31, so watch Bennett in strike. A slip and a forward short leg. Except for the man and the backward square leg boundary, everyone is, we could say, inside the circle as Bennett defends down the onside of the pitch. There's no hurry at this time. There's still the better part of 40 overs to go. Artie round the wicket from the northern end to bowl to Bennett, and Bennett clipped this to the man at mid-wicket who dropped a sitter. Wow, the man at short mid-wicket dropped the sitter. It was on the pad. Bennett clipped it straight to the fielder at short mid-wicket. It was a dolly, and he dropped it. Wow, it lobbed to him. Must have beat him for lack of pace. That's Paul Harris. Paul Harris, who was at a short mid-wicket. And it just lobbed to him, and he dropped it. He works at the water commissioner, I'm hearing, so his hand must be leaking like a pipe as we watch Artie bowl to Bennett, and Bennett on the back foot defends this one out into the offside, and there's no run. So I'm being told that the number 18, Paul Harris, who dropped the catch, work at the National Water Commission. So his hand must be simple. Bennett defends. His hands must be simple. Can't hold any water. It was like a basket. As that was a straightforward chance, and he put it down. As we watch Artie round the wicket bowl to Bennett, and Bennett is a chance for stump. He's out stump. Brilliant there. Bennett gave it away, looking to drive through the onside. Smart work there by the keeper. The base was off in a flash. He lifted his right foot, and he's out stump. St. Catherine has lost their 5th wicket with the score on 186 for 5. They still need another 134 runs to win. Batsman is Rommel Lewis. So 39 overs remaining after this one. Royal is on 31. He's on strike. The new batsman will be at the non-strikers end, as that was the final delivery of the 36th over. So Fraser bowled to Royal, and Royal sweeps, and it came off the gloves, but the keeper was unable to gather the catch. He tried his best, but he could not get around in time to take the chance, as the ball hit the turf, and no damage done for the St. Catherine. Akeem Fraser making adjustment to his field. Royal now seconds as the keeper again, moving the man and the backward square leg boundary to his left. Just in front of the big, not quite in front of the big, to the right of the big electronic scoreboard. Fraser bowls to Royal. Royal down the pitch and he defends. Royal, yes, he definitely went early there, and Fraser saw him coming. There's still 39 overs to get the runs. There's a lot of time to get the runs here. So St. Catherine is under no pressure thanks to that blistering start by Kenar Lewis. He on the back foot and he defends. He watched that one very closely. As you can see, he waits on it to come to him. He watched that one very, very closely. Fraser to bowl to Royal, in bowl to Royal, and Royal hit this away, down to mid-wicket. Let's see if it go all the way. Let's see what 4 runs. 1 bounced into the boundary. It was short. It was begging to be hit. Royal on the back foot, and he swings it away between long on and mid-wicket, down to the boundary for 4. So the score now moves up to 190. Is it at 190? Let's watch. Royal moves up to 35. We're watching the scoreboard and see, is it 190 or 1? The 9 comes up as the ball comes back, and the umpire will look at the ball to see if there's any damage there. 190. So it's 190 for 5 as Fraser into Royal, and Royal again hit this one high and hard, further, same direction, but it goes into the Georgia distance for 6. It was short again, it was a long up, and he hit it further this time for 6 runs. So 196 now for 5. So St. Catherine CC need another 124 runs to win, but only 5 wickets in hand. Royals move on to 41. Into the offside. So that was a better pitch delivery. So at the end of the 37th over, St. Catherine Cricket Club are 196 for 5, needing 320 to win the finals outright. Please remember to slash a like on the video and click on the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe as we cover local cricket and best commentary. Tomorrow morning we have a very hot topic to deal with. The agent of chaos. As we watch Artie round the wicket. To bowl to Lewis. In bowl to Lewis, and Lewis is forward and he defends and there's no run. So Green is stretching. It seems like he's going to come back into the attack. Art again, bowl to Lewis. Lewis off the back foot, and he plays the ball into the covers, and there is no run. So the score 196. 37 overs and 2 balls. So 37 overs and 4 deliveries. So we are, after this delivery, we are halfway through the number of overs to bowl, and he goes for a big swing, but his foot is in the stump and not out. So that was a loose shot from Lewis. That one pitched, and it turns, and he's looking to go across the line as it turns away from him. So exactly 37 overs and 3 balls have been bowled, and 37 overs and 3 balls remaining. as we watch Harty bowl to Lewis, and Lewis is on the back foot. He opens the face of the bat and guide it down to the man at backward point, and there's no run. So we are in the 38 over, 196 for 5. This may go very close. He goes for a big shot down to the man on the long on boundaries, Dover Green, and they go through for a single. So the score now moves up to 197. Royal on 41 is in. That's coming to strike. He'll be facing Harty, Patrick Harty, the left-arm orthodox Jamaica spinner. Slow left-arm orthodox spinner. Bowling round the wicket from the Courtney Walsh end. Up and bowl to, struck him on the pad. Loud appeal. He's out. Not out. There's a loud appeal there. And the umpire said not out. Instead of Royal just play straight along, he is looking to turn the ball, and there was a loud appeal. And each time that the decision has not been given, the Kingston Cricket Club players are behaving like it's the worst decision possible. But we saw it on so many occasions with DRS, when these bowlers and these fielding team appeal loud and they review the decision. We saw it so often that the umpire most of the times are right, and that is why they burn up their reviews so often in games, even before the innings reach halfway. So Royal is not showing any command at the wicket. He's living dangerously. He's not showing the control and the command and the assuredness that Carlos Brown and Kennard Lewis were showing in that marvelous partnership of 98. But since those two went with the score on 144, they have lost 4 wickets for 53 runs. 197. Lewis comes into strike as Akeem Fraser will continue from the southern end of the ground. Be bowling to Lewis. A slip on a forward shot leg. Bowl to Lewis, and Lewis swings this, get the bottom edge. The ball is going towards fine leg. They're gone for one. They're coming back for the second. And the field that is Paul Harris field in the vicinity of fine leg, and they are back for the second. So the score moves up now to 199. So St. Catherine is approaching 200 here. Lewis doesn't appear that he's going to stay around too long. He's going to play shots as Fraser bowl to him, and he goes for a big hit high in the air. Let's see what will happen. The fielder second under it, over his head, 6 runs. 6 runs. He looked to be second under it, but it was way over his head. 6 runs, so the score moves up to 205. So that's the 200 for St. Catherine Cricket Club. Lewis is going to play shots. As a result, the man at forward short leg has disappeared. And let's see where he's going. So they are putting another fielder on the boundary. So there is a man on the backward square leg boundary, a man on the square leg boundary, a man on the mid wicket boundary, a man on the long on boundary. 205 for 5. The keeper is telling Fraser to bowl wide off the off stump. Let's see what happened. They just turn this into the onside and they jog through for a single in the gap. And so he moved the forward short leg. The score moves up to 206. They need another 114. 36 overs remaining after this one. We are in the 39th over. Let's watch Fraser as the man on the mid-wicket boundary comes in to an orthodox mid-wicket. So we have a fine leg, an orthodox mid-wicket. 5 on the onside as he bowled to Royal, and Royal turns the ball to that man who was coming off the mid-wicket boundary into an orthodox mid-wicket position, and there is no run. 5 on the onside, 4 on the offside, including a slip. Fraser in to bowl to Royal short, and Royal trying to beat the man at short mid-wicket. He beats him and the ball trickled down to the man on the long on boundary who picks up with his left hand and they are through for a single. The total moves up to 207. Royal is on 42. Lewis is on 10. I think Lewis hit a 6 and a 4 and didn't he get 2? So the scoreboard has him at 10, but should he be at 12? But the score is 207 as Lewis is back on strike. Fraser to Lewis, and Lewis turned the ball in the onside, and they're through for a single in the vicinity of mid-wicket. The man at a straighter mid-wicket has to run to his left hand field, and they're through for a single. The score moves up now to 208. 208 at the end of the at the end of the 39th over. St. Catherine are 208, needing another 112 runs to win with 5 wickets in hand. As we watch Artie, 34 days back to bowl to Lewis. The scoreboard said he's an 11. Artie round the wicket, bowl to Lewis, and Lewis, that ball straightened the pitch. Lewis was looking to turn the ball into the onside, but then adjust and just open the face of the bat and run it down to backward of point, and there is no run. Let's look. Artie into bowl to Lewis, and Lewis threw that ball into the onside in the vicinity of the square leg umpire. The keeper has to move from behind the stump and run towards the square leg umpire, and they got another single, so he moves up now to 12, and the score is 209 for 5. 209 for 5. We are in the 40th over, 35 to come after this one. We're in the post-lunch session on the second and final day of the Jamaica Cricket Association Senior Cup Finals, as there's some adjustment in the field. So there's a man going to short fine leg, and the mid wicket is going around to a backward square leg. Green is on the long on boundary. Artie bowl to Royal, and Royal defends the ball into the onside, and there is no run. So let us look at the field for Artie bowling to Royal. A slipper backward point, a sweep on the boundary, a long off, and an extra cover. Artie round the wicket, bowl to Royal short, and he cuts, can't beat the man at backward point, and there's no run. So that's the offside field. A slip backward point, extra cover, sweep on the cover boundary, and a long off. A long on, a short mid wicket, a backward square leg, and a short fine leg. Artie round the wicket to bowl to Royal, and Royal turns the ball in the mid region of the mid wicket. They can get 2 here. They turn for the second one, as if the fielder on the backward square leg boundary has to run all the way to his left in front of the Kingston Cricket Pavilion, and in the meantime the batsman went through for 2. So 2 more to Royal. He now moves up to 44. The score now moves up to 211. Down to the man at short fine leg, and they go through for a single. The Kingston players are not happy that the ball could go straight to the field at short fine leg and St. Catherine get a single, but they went through for the single. The score will now push up to 213. Let's watch as Royal moves to 45 at the end of the over. The score is 213 for 5. So St. Catherine needs another 107 runs to win in 34 overs. Sorry, 35 overs. So Lewis is calling for something from the St. Catherine dugout. We don't know what that is, as he has took off his gloves and put down his bat. He is calling for something from the St. Catherine dugout. Or the pace, Green is coming back to bowl, so he's calling for his helmet. Or is this helmet? Oh, he was batting without a tie pad. Why do you do that though? Why do you come and bat without a tie pad, and now that the pace bowler is coming on, you have to do all of that? Why? This is unacceptable. Finally, we are ready. So, Green will start the bowling for Kingston CC. Will be bowling the 41st over, as we are deep in the post-lunch session. The post-lunch session. So, let's watch Green feel that he will be bowling to Javon Royal. So there's a third man and a backward point on the boundary. You have a slip, you have an extra cover, you have a mid-off, and you have a cover. So it's a 6-3 field, and then you have a fine leg, a mid-wicket, and a mid-on as Green moves in from the Georgia distance and up to the wicket and bowl to Royal, and Royal shuffles down the crease to Green, and there's no run. So there's a lot of proving here, a lot of ego here. So the first ball from Green, Royal was prepared to go down the track. Now immediately going down the track, the very first delivery. He needs to see his team home. As we watch Green over the wicket bowl, and he cuts this down to the man on the third man boundary, and that's looked to be Morant, who field and send the return into the keeper, and they are through for a single. The score moves up to 213 for 5. So St. Catherine is making a good fist of this year. Kingston will need to break this partnership, as St. Catherine is making a good fist of it. Although you don't get that assuredness from the St. Catherine batsmen, but they keep the scoreboard ticking over. They are not hiding at the crease, they are pushing the score along. Green ball to Lewis, that was a bumper high over the keeper head, and that was signal wide. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. He signal wide, but I remember in the quarterfinals, those deliveries were being signaled no ball. So it appears that it's different interpretations of the rules by different umpires. Clearly, in the quarterfinals, all of you who were watching that quarterfinals, you remember those same deliveries were being signaled as no ball, as Green makes his way in, past the umpire and bowl to Lewis, who cuts outside the half stump and misses. That was a loose shot there. He was just trying to run the ball down to third man, but the hedge was beaten there. He was in no position to play that shot. His body's momentum was not going through the strokes. The shot, he was leaning back. Instead of his momentum going through the shot, he was leaning back, and the ball goes through to the keeper. As Green gets the ball from the mid-off fielder, he's about to turn. He turns in the distance with the Georgia distance behind him. He passes the umpire just about now, and he guides this ball down to third man. Third man comes to his left. That is Morant, who field, and they got another single. So the score moves up to 215. St. Catherine needs 105 to win, with 34.2 overs remaining. Lewis, the scoreboard said, is on 13. Javoy Royal is on 46. As Green walks back to the top of his mark in the distance. He moves in now to bowl to Royal, up and bowl to Royal, and beaten outside the off stump. So Royal is chipping to Green. What ego here? What ego? What is going on? Why Royal cannot just secure and bat properly? He has the skill set, but he doesn't appears to be applying the mental fortitude at this time, the cognitive skills that are required right now. He needs to apply those skills. He has the skill set to deal with it. He has the batting techniques, he has the power. So why just don't second and bat? Green passes the umpire, ball to Royal. Royal open the face of the bat and strokes it into the offside, and they are through for a single. As simple as that. At the end of the 41st over, 34 overs remaining after this one. St. Catherine are 216 for 5. Royal is on 47, Lewis is on 13. According to the scoreboard, the score is 216 for 5. Artie round the wicket to bowl to Javoy Royal. He's in bowl to Royal, and Royal defends, just strokes the ball to the man at short mid-wicket. A very straight mid-wicket, or could you say a straight mid-wicket, and there's no run. Artie round the wicket, bowl to Royal, up and bowl to Royal. Royal on the back foot, trying to whip the ball into the inside, got the inside portion of the bat, and it just slowly trickled to, that is Paul Harris at short mid-wicket, and there's no run, who polishes the ball away. It's Royal just flipping the bat in his arm in a similar way that Alex Stewart used to do. As Artie round the wicket, bowl to him, and he cuts it. He just dabbed it, a late cut. It's running towards the third man boundary. They're gone for one. They're back for two. The fielder picked it up 5 meters within the third man boundary and sent the return into the keeper. And there are 2 more runs there for Royal as he moves to 49. So Royal is on 49. $218. Artie bowl to Royal, and Royal strokes the ball into the cover and looking to run, but Lewis tell him to wait up. That was to the right of the field at cover, and there was no run. As we watch Artie round the wicket to bowl to Royal, and Royal on the back foot can't beat extra cover, and there's no run. So at the end of the over, the score is 218 for 5. Royal is on 49. With him is Lewis on 13, and that's the latest score from Sabina Park in Kingston, Jamaica. So Green to continue. He will be bowling to Lewis, who's on 13. 218 for 5. Green, he cuts the ball away. Can't beat the man at cover though, but he fumbles and they're allowed to go through for a single. So that was a crisp, hard shot by Lewis, but the field that cover field, but he didn't pick it up clean, and the ball ricocheted off his body, and they go through for a single. So Sabina Park outfield You know, there are patches where the grass look like a carpet and then there are brown spot. Maybe it's the covering, the cover that they use to cover the pitch can cause this effect. Once they get some rain though, it will look green and pretty again. Royal on strike as Green bowled to him and he just guide the ball into the offside. They're gone for one and that's his 50. So that's Royal 50. That's Javar Royal 50. I've gotten 2 chances, but they have made full use of it and he's on 50. And St. Catherine Cricket Club now are now 220 for 5. Royal is on 50. On 14 is Lewis. 220, exactly 220, so they need exactly 100 to win. With 5 wickets in hand, the overs are not an issue. I don't think the scoreboard has the overs right, so I won't say that as Green bowled to Lewis. That's a short one. He was looking to play and then he just dropped the wrist at the last moment and allows it to pass through head eye to the keeper and there is no run. 220 for 5. This is a good final. It is shaping up to be a good final. St. Catherine must be looking at it and say, can we average 20 runs per wicket? 20 runs per wicket and we'll win this match from here on. I don't think the overs is an issue. Green bowled to Lewis and Lewis cuts over the top of that one. It goes through to the keeper. Again, he was not in any position to cut. You saw the position that he was in. He definitely was not in any position. He needs to leave those deliveries alone and let them go through. Maybe Kingston Cricket Club should get in another slip. They need to get in another slip. Probably take the man off the backward point boundary and put him at slip. Or bring in the third man and ask him to beat the third man with those dab shots. So instead of giving one to third man, you look to take the wicket. Green bowled to Lewis. Lewis defends back down the offside of the pitch and there's no run. So instead of giving the man this singer to third man, why don't put him at slip and ask the batsman to beat the second slip? Because they continue to just guide the ball down to third man and get those singers. So ask him, beat the second slip. It could be an opportunity to get a wicket. With 100 needed, in the next singer, should St. Catherine get another singer? Let's see. Green bowled to Lewis and Lewis got that's drive on the bounce back to Green. For a moment there I thought it was a return catch, but it was a spectator's catch. So at T, St. Catherine Cricket Club are needing exactly 100 runs to win the Senior Cup of 2023. So we'll rejoin you after tea. Please, we'll rejoin you after tea for the closing stages of the 2023 Jamaica Cricket Association Senior Cup Finals. So please join us then at exactly 3 o'clock for the final session of the day's play.